Hello, everyone, and welcome to Royale with Cheese. I am, of course, Cheese. It's my show. What do you want? I mean, Correct. No one in stream can hear you talk, but I can. Except stream now knows that you can talk and I can hear you, because they can hear me. Regardless, welcome, everyone. We have today an exciting race for you. A three-way any percent race of Rusty Gun, a very well-known speedrunning game. And we have three of the world bests here. Sineth, D-Drake, and of course world record holder J-Chalk. All of whom will be joining us for this three-way race. And it should be a good time. We should see some high-tier speed tech, some primo movement. It should be great. I know you're all already familiar with Rusty Gun, so I won't bother giving you the usual spiel I would for most games. So let me switch over and we'll get this party started. All right. As all of you know, we will start on the world map, and our timers will actually start when they hit enter to enter the first stage. And when that happens, we're not doing this in a room. Won't be official, being that it's the Royale. So I'll just personally count them down. They can hear everything I say, and I can hear everything they say. You just can't hear what they say. All right, gentlemen, is everybody ready? Sineth on stream is not showing you as on the map screen. Oh, now it is. It happens. But all right, well, I'll give you a 5, and it'll end on go. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So the first thing you will notice is that our players are playing on English. You see this is pretty common in a lot of speed games where a certain language is much faster, or at least somewhat faster than all the rest of them. Well, in this one, the developers actually had so little regard for U.S. gamers. They figured they couldn't understand the storyline, so they actually took out 80% of the text boxes don't exist in the English version, speeding up the game quite significantly. So as you can see, we have our runners there going forward. As you collect beer bottles, you'll regain health. You can shoot, you can jump, you can climb ladders and such. That pit that Jay just jumped in, that is called the Neon Skip. That is an RNG. That is RNG manipulation that will actually be used in the third stage. That is what that jump was for. One moment, I need to cough. And yes, Diddy Kong asking in chat, Jay is in fact playing on keyboard. Keyboard technically can save you up to 6 frames throughout the game, as the signs actually display slightly faster. The signs actually display slightly faster, displaying the W, S, A, and D keys than the Xbox buttons. I mean, it's a total of less than a quarter of a second throughout the entire run, but it's still. So you're seeing our runners take quite a few deaths. Worry not, most of this is RNG manipulation, all put together by a guy named Neon. So there's a bunch of Neon manips, or Neon nips, as some of us like to call it. But yeah, so there is of course a checkpoint system. As you see, Sineth is currently in the lead, having hit the first of the checkpoint. But Jay just really doing some advanced manipulation, some really advanced RNG manipulation, and you will see that come to fruition later on. Apologies. I just had some ramen with some very spicy bulldog sauce on it, so a little coffee and such. So, you see, Zenith has really taken an early lead here, but it's early enough that I don't know that that's a meaningful lead. Jay and Drake both have several levels, particularly levels 6 through 8, where they can make up a ton of time on Zenith, because Zenith does very risky strats in stage 7, and there's a high propensity for some death there. Speaking of, let's pull in our current leader and see how he's feeling about the run thus far. So Zenith, how is the run treating you thus far?
Trying some of these RNG manips, not quite getting them, so I'm just, trying to get through these levels as quick as I can, because these RNG manips are really not treating me very well right now.
That's understandable. It is. I mean, there are a lot of frame and pixel perfect tricks that you're trying to pull off, but looks like you're having a good time doing it, and I wish you luck as the race goes on. Alright, I have remuted the runners so that they can still hear me, but you can't hear them talking deep strategy. So, as you see, D-Drake has made his way to level 2. Really working those beer bottles and trying to get some health. This is a very dangerous game. You see the tricks in it are extremely difficult. There is Zenith. Zenith really. Unfortunately, our world record holder, J-Talk here, really having some trouble here in stage 1. He's trying to set up this manipulation, and it is just not treating him right today. Perhaps he should have dusted off the old controller. That is what his world record run is actually on controller. He's trying the advanced strats here, going keyboard only. How he's specifically not killing that eyeball that keeps chasing him around. He leaves that around very specifically to kill it at a very particular point of the level, and that'll help him here early on in stage 2. Anybody in chat, are the sound levels okay? Like, is everything... Welcome, Eden. This is a 3-way race between 3 of the top runners of Rusty Gun, including world record holder J-Talk. I think it is. I think it's about time to speak to that world record holder and see how he's feeling about these frame perfect tricks. Just really okay. Game sounds are a bit loud. Let me. Drop those a little bit. Hopefully that will fix that problem. But let's see how the world record holder feels about how his run's going. I'm certain were this not a race, he probably would have reset by now. I just see a lot of top tier speedrunners do very early in their runs, but let's find out. So Jay, how are you feeling about the run thus far? Looks like some of your RNG manipulation hasn't really worked out for you.
Yeah, we've been working on these neon skips for a couple days now.
Nail that.
I think I finally got the run moving though, and it should pay off in a couple levels here.
You're really banking on levels 6 through 8 to carry you to victory.
Yeah, basically.
That's understandable. Well, I hope it works out for you, and good luck in the rest of the race.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I have sent them back into the dark zone, and they can hear me, but I can't. Well, and I can hear them, but you can't hear them. So, unfortunately, you know, it's a little difficult to pay attention to all three races at once. I'm not actually certain. I believe Zenith does still have the lead, taking on Killork. As you can see, Killork is in fact a large bunny that likes to roll around after you shoot him, and then he spits green and yellow flashing pellets at you. This is, of course, a shout out to Metroid. As you can see, when Killork goes into ball form, it's very similar to Samus's morphing ball. Yeah, so actually we have two of our runners fighting Killork right now. That is Killork, of course, being the boss of the forest stage. Looks like Zenith using those advanced duck down strats and really having having decent RNG here. Because Killork can roll around from anywhere from 90 frames to 450 frames, and so you really do have to rely on RNG. Meanwhile, our world record holder is really chugging through stage 3, trying to make up some of that lost time. Luckily, in this game, there are not lives. You just get sent back to continue points, which is nice, as these bosses are very difficult, and of course, no one, you know, obviously the world record run does first try on all bosses, but this being a race setting, our runners are of course going to use some race safe strats. So we still do have two of our runners on Killork, not really giving either of them great patterns RNG wise. As Jay just keeps getting bopped by what we actually call the J-Eye. That eyeball right there has ended more world record pace runs for J-Chalk than any other eyeball in the game. That is the J-Eye. We've got Zenith getting Killork down to 2, and then unfortunately taking a death. Those green and yellow balls that he spits at you are harder to dodge than you would expect. They really are. Looks like D-Drag is getting a good pattern. And if he can just hop over the morph ball one more time. Oh, and D-Drag has gained the tackle. That is, of course, very important speed tech. As you can see, it's called the tackle, but it really acts more like a dash. And now we've got, of course, an auto-scroller. No big shocker. Of course, most games like this have one. And as you can see, he's just hanging out the side of his truck and firing a shotgun. Well, I call it a shotgun, but really it's more of a rifle, I guess, due to the pellets. It is in fact the eponymous rusty gun. Alright, so yeah, we've got D-Drag in stage, I believe the car stage is stage 5. I'm sorry, I'm being corrected that it is stage 4, Killork being at the end of stage 3. Zenith getting a good pattern here on Killork. And Zenith taking down Killork. Gets the tackle. now we have Jay also taking on Killork. Let's see. Let's really watch the world record holder work here. His boss fights are amazing, and that is one of the many reasons why he has the world record. So, of course, being in stage 5 here, the foothills, Diedrich is our current leader. Let's see how he intends to try to keep this lead throughout the game. So Diedrich, how do you intend to keep your current lead going through? Well, I mean, we all know the worst part of any game is the water level, and that's where you are.
Well, I mean, I'm probably just gonna have to grind and grind because, like, I'm a bit out of practice. As you know, I've been preparing other speedruns for an upcoming event, and I've kind of let this one fall to the wayside a little bit. But I'm getting back into the rhythm of things, and
so you would say that
taking a lot of unnecessary deaths.
That your gun is in fact rusty.
Very, very rusty.
A very rusty gun, and that's double rust, and nobody wants that. Well, Diedrich, good luck on the rest of the race, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again later. Alright, as it goes, Diedrich still going through the water level. We have Zenith on the driving level, level 4. And that is true, Type Potato, and I'm certain that all 3 of our runners, at some point I'll pull them in and ask them about that particular event. The Dog Pound Expo being put on by Metadog, a charity event happening in mid-December that really everybody should, everybody should watch, donate if you can. But we'll talk about that a little later. We've got Jay still taking on Killork. The Giant Bunny is really one of the great gatekeepers of the game. Being one of the first bosses, really. And it's really before you get any of your best speed tech. You don't have the dash yet. You don't have the jetpack. You haven't gotten your laser rifle yet. I mean, it's just... Oh, typo telling me it's actually the beginning of December. I have an announcement of that somewhere, but this year has been weirdly compressed and elongated at the same time, so my dates are not great in my brain. And Diedrich finishing his way through the water level. That is, of course, that's big time. Yeah, the game calls it the foothills, but... So, as you can see on Diedrich's screen, he is being followed by a giant mechanical octopus that's going to fire missiles at him. And, well, that's just not a good way to be. If you do this level perfectly, the octopus will never actually get a chance to fire a single missile at you. But those are using very risky strats, and of course, this being a race, our runners aren't going to be using the super... They're going to be using more marathon and race-safe strats. Unfortunately, the levels kind of come in batches of 3s where they look very similar in between them, but I believe Diedrich is still one level in front of Zenith, and Jay just having really a rough time here with Killork. It is not a good way to be sometimes. The RNG on him rolling, and the rolls, the jumps, and the shots, it could really put a damper. Typo, it does kind of have a bit of a Mega Man feel to it, but a little more. It's more linear, you know, because Mega Man you got to choose what stages you went to in what order. Rusty Gun, it is a very linear game, but it also has, you know, the Metroidvania picking up different upgrades and whatnot, like the dash. That our runners pick up after Kill Orc. The dash, the jetpack, the laser rifle, all these are. Alright, and I will be right back, everyone, just 30 seconds. My apologies, everyone. I had a bit of a coughing fit and didn't want to subject all of you to it. So yeah, we've got Drake being followed, or actually both Drake and Zenith being followed by the Octopus Sky Submarine that fires missiles. It's a rough way to be. It is. You know, if you slow down at any point within the level, it'll take shots at you. Either it'll fire pellets at you, fire missiles at you. All in all, it's not a good way to be. Unfortunately, Jay just getting super unlucky when it comes to Kill Orc here. Just having a time, but looks like he's having a good run this time. Kill Orc down to about 6 health here. And Jay seems to be getting good patterns to be able to jump over the morph ball. And that's really what a lot of this fight is. If you can keep getting those morph ball patterns, it's great. It's the jumps that'll get you every time. And as you can see, as you'd expect out of a world record holder, Jay, you know, no damage run there on Kill Orc. Just plows through once he de-rusts a little. So Jay now hitting the car section, as really Zenith and D-Drake very close to each other in this race. Let's get Jay's thought here. Typo, this is Cheese Reaper. This is the Royale with Cheese, my show where oftentimes what it'll be is someone speedrunning a game that I'm not familiar with, and I blind commentate it. But this is something special. We really wanted to have this where it's these 3 world-class runners of Rusty Gun, including world record holder J-Chalk. Just putting on a display for us. And you know what? He had a rough time with Kill Orc the boss, but let's get Jay's thoughts on how his run's going and where, if anywhere, he thinks he can make up the time that he unfortunately lost, having just really rough luck when it came to Kill Orc. So Jay, you had a bit of a rough time there with Kill Orc. You're past that. You're on the car stage. Where do you think you can make up some time? I mean, some of our other runners are in stages 6 and 7, I believe.
Yeah, so I'm doing a new route. I think Thrag and Zenith run old route. So basically, that Kill Orc stage, there's a manipulation where you can get, like, I didn't take a single hit that entire. I don't know if you saw, I didn't take a single hit on that boss fight because there's a manipulation you can do that puts it in a very specific spot, and then that kind of sets the stage for the next few rounds. So I think I can kind of make up some time here.
All right. Well, I wish you luck on that, and I will go back to
Thank you.
muting you. All right. D-Drake has met our next, or has made its way up to our next boss, the Wobbler. As you can see, it's some kind of very strange smiley face that drops worms. I don't really have a good descriptor for it. Wobbler, less of a problem than Kill Orc when it comes to patterns. Really just it's a fight that once you get the hang of it and you grind it out a few times, it becomes very consistent. D-Drake using one of the magic spots to where the bricks should never drop on him, and really just has to. You do have to do it at the very peak of your jump to get credit for hitting the Wobbler. Yep, D-Drake, as I said, he's standing in one of the magic spots. And it looks like Sineth is about to start the Wobbler as well. So we have both of our runners, both Sineth and D-Drake, on the Wobbler. Drake much further down in the fight, but his health is not looking great. He better protect himself there in the corner. And as you may have noticed, you can only actually damage Wobbler during certain portions of his animation. You can't just shoot him the whole time. And Drake has taken out the Wobbler and has the V-Shot. V-Shot, of course, comes very much in handy in certain stages. Drake's current stage might remind you of certain Battletoad stages where you're going down the tube on the rope. It's kind of a controlled fall. And it's called the sewer, and as we all know, the sewer level is the worst level of, anything. Sineth looks like he's just one shot away on the Wobbler. Oh, but he takes his last bit of health. That's alright. Sineth knows the magic spot. He'll be able to take out Wobbler. Sineth did walk into that fight pretty low on health. Here with full health, I don't expect he'll have any issues. As you can see, stage 8 that Drake just pushed his way through, he's done, and it's a very short stage. It's really just a controlled fall. And you may be wondering why our runners, when they were given the dash, aren't really using it much. It's not as good a piece of speed tech as you would expect, because of the wind-up and then the recovery from it. It's actually most of the time just faster to just walk. Meanwhile, we've got Sineth taking it to the Wobbler. Hasn't taken a single bit of health damage just yet, and really, unfortunately, Wobbler. It's a gatekeeper only in the amount of time it takes, because there's so much RNG for how much does he move back and forth and bounce and such. The fight itself, not very difficult. Honestly, we'd almost consider him the spore spawn of Rusty Gun, because you kind of have to wait until he bounces around, and then you can hit him, and then you wait till he bounces around, and then you can hit him. But even longer than spore spawn, just because you can only do one speck of damage each round. Meanwhile, D-Drake making his way through the sewers, really taking advantage of that V-Shot that he's got now. And of course, knowing when to switch back and forth from the straight shot to the V-Shot is important. That is one of the most important ways knowing that, how to clear enemies as much as possible. Because of course, every enemy you kill reduces lag on screen, which is of course important. And this level, some would call it a maze. I don't know that I would give it the maze moniker. I would just it's more of a roundabout walk through the woods than a maze. Alright, so we've got Seneth going through stage 8, which is just the controlled fall. He of course knows, as any seasoned runner of this game would know, if you just hold down while you're on this, it really speeds up your trip. Whereas if you don't, yeah, you can grab a few more beer bottles if you don't, because they can be pretty hard to grab if you're just going full speed downward. But this, we're speed running here, so obviously we're not really that concerned with the beer bottles. So Jay being chased by the robot octopus submarine in the sky, and unfortunately those J eyes really they're just doing a number on him. I mean, that is why they're called J eyes. They are really his Achilles heel, even because even world record holders have weaknesses in their game, and the J eyes are J's. Alright, so we've got Seneth and Drake both here in the sewers and on the same level. Drake, of course, a decent bit ahead, having hit several of the red buttons and opened up most of the doors now. Alright, so we've got Jay, unfortunately, just having really bad RNG luck with the J eyes. Honestly, it may be his new route with the hitless trip against Kill Orc may have changed the RNG of the eyes in this stage, and that could be part of Jay's problem here. So we have we have Seneth doing a death abuse there. There's a little bit of chatter going on in the background between our runners. They're really giving our world record holder here a hard time. But when you try risky strats, sometimes they work for you and sometimes they don't. There's a reason why most Super Metroid 80% runs end at Fantoon. It's a risky strat, but when it works, it works. So, unfortunately, Jay just not having a good time with those eyes as well as the octopus submarine in the sky. We should really, the community should really come up with a shorter name than that, but as far as I know, it's just called the Metal Octopus Submarine in the Sky. I mean, I guess you could call it Moss, Metal Octopus Submarine Sky. Well, we're going to call it Moss. Alright, hey, I've just come up with some new terminology for the Rusty Gun community. We're going to call the Metal Octopus Submarine in the Sky Moss. So Moss is really giving Jay a hard time here. Whereas... both Sinith and Thrag in the sewer levels. There are a few of them. I'm not actually 100% certain which of them is on which level right now, but I believe Thrag still has the lead, with Sinith just starting stage 10. And I'd just like you guys to really notice the sprite work here, mostly on Jay's screen. That is a zombie cop throwing knives with a shield, with a riot shield. I mean, how can you get better sprite work than that? Yeah, bats are cool. Bugs that shoot stuff out of their backs are cool, but a zombie cop with a riot shield throwing knives, like that's, how can it get any better? Unfortunately, right now, with as badly as he's being harassed by those JIs, Jay could really use the Master Armor that they'll grab after stage 12. Having all damage would really help him out against those JIs that are just really harassing him. Got Drake and Sinith making their way through the sewer levels. We all know that the sewer level is once again, of course, always the worst level of any video game. Much like the water level. Unfortunately, so let's pull in our current race leader and see how he feels about the sewer level in general. Of course, knowing that the sewer level is always the worst level ever. So Thrag, how do you like sewer levels, particularly the sewer levels here in Rusty Gun?
Well, I suppose the first thing I have to give it credit for is it's not as bad as the sewer levels on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES, which I'm sure we all are familiar with the reputation of, and I'm sure many of us have played it. But
of course, a true classic, much like Rusty Gun.
Well, one is a genuine classic, one is Rusty Gun. Oh, wrong button. Sorry, I got distracted there and I hit the wrong button.
Well, that's part of why I pull you in here to, to distract runners. That is part of the show.
She's trolling people. I've never heard such madness.
Well, good luck here on the rest of level. I believe you're in level 11, and good luck on the sewer boss. We all know how bad that one can go.
Yeah.
So, harsh words from our current race leader as to the pristine reputation of Rusty Gun. A reminder to everyone, it has been probably 3 months since Jay set the world record in this game. That was set on controller, not keyboard, and he really hasn't played the game since. So we really should be a little more kind to Jay than we normally would to a world record holder. He's rusty. The gun is, of course, rusty, and he is playing on a completely different control scheme than he is used to. But for the, he's trying the riskier stuff for the RNG manipulations, and it's just unfortunately not going for him. Bold of him to bring out the keyboard strats in a race setting like this, but this is the Royale with cheese. It is a friendly race, so he risks almost nothing other than the amount of clowning that Thrig and Sinith will do on him based on his performance. Yeah, I mean, zombie bikers in the sewers, like, who saw that coming? Are those toads? Are they mice? Are they cats? Who knows? They're green. I can't hear the audio, Thrig. I'm being informed by Thrig that they are in fact frogs because they ribbit. Again, I was unsure as I cannot hear the audio. And generally when I run this game, which I'm a brand new runner to it, I've only completed the game 5, maybe 6 times now, I am running with classical music in the background, mostly sonatas. I like sonatas while playing Rusty Gun. It really soothes me while playing Rusty Gun, because it is a game that can hold a lot of frustration for a lot of people. Once again, 2 of our runners, both in Stage 11, though Thrig is ahead in Stage 11 right now. And Jay, unfortunately, due to the... Alright, apparently I was wrong, and Sinith was in fact ahead in Stage 11. Unfortunately, when they're both on the same stage, Stage 11 has a ton of backtracking in it, so it can be very difficult to figure out exactly where they are in the stage. Meanwhile, we of course still have Jay back in. Oh, Jay completing Stage 6. Gonna make his way into Stage 7. Still called the Forest's Edge, which, that the name of that level doesn't really make any sense to me, because in what way is this the edge of a forest? Oh good, there are zombie bikers with machine guns, not just in the sewers, but at the forest's edge. It's good to know that the quality sprite work wasn't beholden to being within a single stage, but that the devs decided, you know what, that one was good enough, we need to use it again. Jay doing a death abuse, grabbing that checkpoint and then just jumping off a cliff. Very smart, considering what his health was at the time. But of course, you would expect nothing else from 3 runners of this quality. There are, of course, 17 levels in the game. Though calling level 17 a level is probably a bit much. It's really just a boss fight. And a boss fight, well, a boss fight and an escape sequence, so, you know. Here we go. So we actually have Sinith in the lead now. Let's get Sinith's thoughts on the upcoming boss. Really see if he's got any special strats in the pocket for it, or if he's just. Okay, apparently I was incorrect, and it looks like Drake is in the boss first. Oh, there's a delay that I'm not paying attention to. Unfortunately, I can hear them, and I can hear when they say stuff. So let's get Sinith's thoughts on the upcoming boss, because we've talked to Thrig more recently than Sinith. So Sinith, what are your thoughts on the upcoming boss here in the sewer stage?
Yeah, this boss, like the other bosses, has some interesting RNG that you have to deal with. So I'm just planning on, trying to watch out for that RNG. Look for the obvious animations that he does during that RNG, so that I can kind of get some good shots in.
I mean, that is fair enough.
I actually first tried this freaking boss.
What
Let's
do you
go.
intend to do when he jumps on the tightrope?
I'm just taking a purposeful death right before the boss. You'll see that in a second because I had low life. I didn't want to make the same mistake I did last time.
Of course.
We're just gonna.
Well, good luck. Good luck with the tightrope. All right, and our world record holder, of course, takes out Wobbler on the first try, as would be expected from the world record holder. No question there. So, as you can see, Thryg really taking advantage of that gun and taking out Liga, I believe, on his second try there. After taking a quick low health death. Right. So now we of course have kind of the equivalent of the turbo tunnel. Of course, but instead of a turbo bike in a sewer, you're riding a skateboard away from some lava in the sewer. Because that's how things work in Rusty Gun. I don't know what you want from me. Got Sinith taking on Liga, as Jay just doing the quick drop after the Wobbler, getting through stage 8 quite quickly, and really getting into the sewer proper here in stage 9. We've got both Sinith and Thryg here in the post-Liga escape. This is not an easy escape. I don't know what else I could say other than those those saw blades really unforgiving here in the post-Liga escape. Of course, our runners not wanting to try to slow down because A, they're being chased by lava, but B, they're racing. They're trying to get through these levels as quickly as possible. Looks like thus far, Sinith on the cycle that Drake has been trying to get himself on. But the escape is not done yet. Unfortunately, because this is an escape type level, no checkpoints. You gotta do it from the beginning. So we've got Jay in stage 9, really in the sewer proper, doing his thing, going around, finding red buttons, opening doors. And both of our other. And really, this here, stage 12 can be one of the equalizers that this game has. This is not an easy escape sequence. It's not an easy escape sentence. I mean, those saw blades, if you are not quite on the right timing on them, they will, well, I mean, they're saw blades. You know, they do damage to you. What do you expect out of saw blades? Like both Sinneth and Drake are getting very close to the end. Oh, Sinneth taking a death from the bat. How unfortunate. He is not far from the end of that stage. Unfortunately, as I said before, gotta restart. This is, of course, a randomly generated stage, so the saw blades and enemies are not in the same place every time. But we see Drake make his way out of the sewers and into Antarctica, where he gets to start murdering penguins. From this point, now where Threg is, the Antarctica levels, luckily, don't really have to deal with ice physics, but you have to deal with bouncy physics, which are better but still infuriating. Yeah, and as you can see, Threg here about to take a death. This will be another piece of RNG manipulation used later on the boss of Antarctica, which is of course a giant penguin. No one, of course, is surprised that there will be a giant penguin involved. Alright, so Sinneth still trying to get a good cycle here on the escape from the sewers. And Jay just making his way through, hitting buttons, opening doors, making his way through the sewers. Threg, of course, thanking his lucky stars here in Stage 13 Antarctica that he does not have to deal with ice physics. Everyone knows that ice physics are, by a wide margin, the worst mechanic that has ever been invented in the history of platformers. And it's not even close. That's how bad they are. Alright, and there's Threg making his way through level 13 on level 14 of Antarctica, or level 14, another stage in Antarctica. There are penguins, there were polar bears throwing fish at people. It's a good old time. Ooh. Threg unfortunately getting caught by one of the dropping platforms here in Antarctica. It's a very tight. It's very tight if you want to do a double jump on it. And of course, coming up is one of the best enemies in the game. I won't spoil it for you, but let's just say there's a snowman and there's a laser gun involved, and I won't spoil any more than that. But I'm just saying, those two things exist together. As you can see, he just murdered a snowman with a laser gun. We've hit peak. I don't know what else anybody could ever want from me. I mean, there was a snowman with a laser. That's like that was something that. How many of us as children asked Santa for a snowman with a laser gun? I know I did. I know all of our runners did. I know most of you out there did too. Really, Typo? You didn't ask for a snowman with a laser gun? Just had a weird childhood. I'm of course kidding. What people ask Santa for is their own business, and I would never besmirch anyone for doing so. But you totally should have asked for a snowman with a laser gun. Alright, and then we have Thrig making his way through stage 14 here into stage 15, hitting the real end game. There are only 17 stages. I will say, once we, if we do have a finish from one of our runners, I expect a forfeit from J-Chalk will probably not be too far behind that. Just, unfortunately, he tried the risky strats today, and they didn't work for him. But, you know what? Stage 17, the boss fight and escape sequence, is pretty rough. It could gatekeep pretty hard. As it stands, basically you have Thrag, the entirety of Antarctica 14 in front of Zenith. They're basically starting the levels simultaneously there. But we'll have to see how Zenith handles the dropping platforms. Oh. Yeah, unfortunately, can't quite do the double jump. You can double jump on those platforms, but the timing on it is super, super tight. And it's generally not advised to try. Meanwhile, we of course still have Jay in the sewers. I'm not sure whether he's on stage 9 still, or if he's on stage 10 now. On stage 10. Alright, so we've got Thrig making his way towards the boss. I think you'll all recognize the boss when you, once Thrig gets there. This is a rough one. You have to avoid his shots, avoid the dropping snowballs from the sky, and avoid him on the sled. Necros is not an easy boss fight. All of you out there that heard me say anything about the boss being a giant penguin, that was clearly a figment of your imagination, and that did not happen. Yeah. Unlike the Wobbler, there are not safe zones to stand in here against Necros, so you can't just stand in one corner and know that none of the dropping items will overland on you. You actually have to dodge them. There are patterns, of course, but cut rate Sub-Zero here, Necros. And he is, of course, invulnerable while he's skiing or sledding at you. I'm not sure whether he's supposed to be skiing or sledding. I think it's a sled. Or maybe he's just power sliding. He might just be power sliding. And and Threg has beaten Necros and has stolen the keys to Necros' boat. He now has to deal with the octopus submarine, the metal octopus submarine in the sea, also known as Moss. Zenith is making his way toward the boss. And Jay in, I believe, level 11 there in the sewers. May have made his way to 12. I'm not 100% on that. He is still on 11. That's true, not thinking about it, of course. 11, the last true sewer level. 12 being the escape. As it's time for Zenith to take on Necros, aka Cut Rate Sub-Zero. I mean, he could instead. Well, no, he's only Cut Rate Sub-Zero. I was gonna say he could be Cut Rate Ryu because they could be totally Hadokens instead. But it's the ice theme really lends itself to Sub-Zero. Plus, he's blue. Alright, so we've got Threg taking on probably the hardest boss in the game, Moss. Not a traditional boss, like with a health bar like you've seen on the other bosses, but I mean, still, you know, you gotta call this what it is. It's a boss. Zenith finishing off Necros and stealing the keys to his boat. Threg has made his way past Moss. He is making his way to the Dr. Light capsule, which unfortunately doesn't do anything in this game. It's just background. He forgot to go hit the button that is the other direction. That is going to cost him some time here. Meanwhile, we have Zenith still taking on Moss. Jay taking on Lega. Deal with worms jumping out of the fire, which is kind of a weird place for worms to be jumping out of. Lega hanging on to the tightrope, and it's just, you know, aesthetically it's a very weird boss. He's kind of got the large belt thing going on, and shirtless with the brown vest. It's a weird choice, but, you know, I guess fashion's not for everybody. Alright, and Zenith Sineth has finished off Moss and just has to finish up the auto-scrolling portion. And we'll be entering level 17. Of course, the evil sub-Antarctic base of the Mastermind. And with that death, Sineth and Threg pretty much in the same spot. Meanwhile, we've got Jay in the cut rate turbo tunnel, trying to not get murdered by the lava, but also not get murdered by the saw blades. Threg and Sineth almost step for step here in Antarctica 17. We could have ourselves a very close finish. Jay, unfortunately, just not getting good patterns here with the saw blades here in Turbo Tunnel Part 2 Electric Boogaloo. Sineth and Threg are once again, they're pretty well. I mean, they're in the same stage, having not hit any checkpoints yet. A death at any point sends one of them, right back to the start. So this could easily turn very quickly. You have to worry about the flames jetting out of the ground, moving platforms, possibly missing them and dropping into the icy water beneath. Looks like at the moment, the Threg has the lead in stage 17, but that could easily turn back around. Threg killing off. Oh, Threg getting the first checkpoint of level 17. Let's see if he takes a death abuse here, or if he just decides to YOLO it. Looks like he's gonna go for the YOLO. Bold strategy. I'm a little surprised that he wasn't smart enough to take the death abuse, but we'll see how it works out for him. Sineth here, going to the right first, gonna find the button that opens up that door. Jay not having a good time in the turbo tunnel. Hour and 6 minutes. World record for this game is, of course, 33 minutes and 14 seconds. So none of our runners going to break the world record today. Of course, world records almost never fall in race situations. That's just not quite completely unheard of, but you gotta remember all the RNG manipulation that they did in the early game. Of course, in the world record run, all of that works first try. Whereas, when you're not resetting after every RNG fail, time adds up. It happens. working his way through the turbo tunnel. And Jay makes it through the turbo tunnel and will now make his way onto stage 13, Antarctica. Still 4 stages behind our other runners, but really those high level strats that did not quite work out for him really just have made the difference here for Jay. And the JI is really having their revenge on Jay. Making his way towards the final boss. He is almost there. Just has to head over to the right here, hit that checkpoint, and he will take on the final boss, the pirate with a jetpack, as we all, of course, knew the final boss was going to be a pirate with a jetpack that throws bones at you. And also spits fireballs. I mean, what else were you expecting? Alright, Jay speeding his way through level 13. Really trying to make up time. If you are out there and Rusty Gun interests you, join the SRA Discord, and we can get you hooked up with top tier strats. And of course, we have direct access to the world record holder. And he will happily help you run Rusty Gun. Alright, Thrag almost done with Vitamin C. The pirate with a jetpack, where he gets Flowey. And that is game. That is GG. To Thrag. As you can see, the pig drives up in the truck. And that's it for Rusty Gun for Thrag. GG. Let's grab our winner and see what he has to say. All right, Thrag. Well, GG.
Thank you very much.
On your hard-fought win here in Rusty Gun.
Yeah, fair warning to anyone who's interested. This game sucks. Like, it's great, but it's terrible. It's one of those games.
It is. The controls are not good. The game is really not good. And yeah, full disclosure.
Yeah, much like a full-on B movie, the game is somehow so much better and so much greater than any of the sum of its parts can actually add up to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So looks like Sith's probably gonna try to finish this up here. He is in level 17. I don't know if we'll see the forfeit from Jay after Sith finishes up or not. That'll be, of course, Jay's decision. But yeah, GG to you, Thrag, but I don't want to intrude too much upon the runner's green room, so I'm gonna remute you guys and let you talk amongst yourselves. All right. Got Sith trying to make his way through, taking a dip in. I don't know if that's supposed to be ice water or antifreeze, or I'm not really sure what the blue stuff is supposed to be. Typo's gonna call it blue lava. You know what? I'm cool with blue lava. We're gonna call it blue lava. You know, unfortunately took a dip into the blue lava, which does kill you just as much as red lava. Sith making his way through. Jay, who I believe is in level 14 now. Oh, Jay entering level 15. Trying to catch up with Sinith. Cannot win the race now, but if he can really push hard, he may be able to catch up with Sinith. We'll have to see. Sinith not having a great time here in stage 17. The cycles of the platforms really just not working out for him. Some of his earlier RNG must have been just a little bit off. Most of the RNG is, of course, frame perfect, so... and unfortunately, when you're doing RNG for 3 or 4 stages in the future, it can be difficult to tell. See, Jay just charging through stage 15. Just really pushing. I mean, you know, after an outing like today, Typo, Jay might agree with you that he should just stick to Super Metroid. But then again, remember, Jay is playing very rusty, and the world record was set on a controller, not a keyboard. Jay gonna take on Cut Rate Sub-Zero. Really being bold and taking him on with just half a heart. But we'll see. I mean, you know, he is the world record holder. He has done this fight plenty of times in the past without taking any damage. Let's see. Oh, it gets caught by the skis. Typo, I don't believe Jay wants to run Zero Mission. So we've got Zenith, unfortunately, languishing a little bit in stage 17. It is a bit of a maze, but really, it's really just a ton of backtracking, but it's a lot of dangerous backtracking. You hit the buttons, and then if you make one wrong jump, you fall into the blue lava, and that's it. Alright, Jay almost done with Necros. Oh, it's one hit. Got it. And he steals the boat keys. Now he will be in the boat. He'll go into the boat level and have to take on Moss. Jake currently in the boat auto scroller, taking on Moss. Only has one hit left. Hopefully does not get hit by a bird grenade. Meanwhile, we've got Zenith taking on Vitamin C. Really abusing that V gun. And just tearing him to shreds. You can find a few magic spots where you can hit him with the V-gun. Where you can hit him with the V-gun, but he can't really hit you with the bones. Almost down here for Zenith. Oh, but he takes a fireball to the dome piece. That is rough. Alright, now walking in with full health, so shouldn't have too many issues taking on vitamin C. While Jay shooting at vitamin C in Moss, but you can't actually damage Moss in these the auto scroller here. You just have to shoot the pirate when he pops up. Boss iframes in Rusty Gun are a bit high for my taste personally, but you know, when you're a top tier runner, you get used to them. Is a vitamin C finish by Zenith. GG to him. Coming in second here in the Royale with Cheese exhibition match of Rusty Gun any percent. But unfortunately, his was the timer we were taking, so we will not be able to get a time on Jay, but that's okay. Looks like Jay does intend to finish it off, which is fine. We had 2 hours set aside for this, and we've still got over 30 minutes before that time frame would expire. But yeah, let's pull Zenith in and ask him about his run, how he feels about it. So Zenith, how do you feel about your run? Well, first off, GG, congratulations on finishing second. And how do you feel about your run?
Pretty good that I beat the world record holder, you know. Can't complain about that. Definitely tried to take some risks to manipulate RNG for those cycles in level 17, but didn't end up really working out, and I had to do a lot of waiting and lost a ton of time there. It's probably why I lost to Drag. So GG Drag, he got first place on me.
Yeah, fuck you up.
Oh, we're on SRA, and you can't say that, Drake.
Well, you never told me I was now on SRA.
When I'm talking to one of you, I'm talking to all of you.
Well, that's news to me.
Sorry
My
about
apologies.
that, everybody. Alright, you guys are now muted again because Threg has lost the ability to talk. But yes, while Jay is finishing up his fight with Moss, you guys should be following these runners. You'll see top tier content on their streams like Rusty Gun and other games that aren't as good as Rusty Gun. You can of course follow me. I am the Cheese in Royale with Cheese. And yes. And of course, if you run a game, either something more obscure that I've never heard of, or a weird category or something, but preferably that I don't know much of anything about, and you'd like to appear on Royale with Cheese and have me blind commentate a game that I've never seen, there's a Google Doc right there that you can sign up for that. And there's another one coming up. It'll more than likely be in 2 weeks' time, where Drake actually will be back he'll be running, I believe it's 2 games, both of them only in the 20 to 25 minute range. So in order to kind of make sure the show's worthwhile, I believe he'll be running 2 separate games that I know absolutely nothing about, and that should be a lot of fun. And it'll apparently be a preview of the DPX runs, which, wait, in 2 weekends, that'll be like Thanksgiving weekend. That's probably not a good weekend to do a Royale. And I think the weekend after that is DPX. So it might be after DPX, but that's okay. I will make sure that I don't watch that part of the DPX, so I will still be blind to the runs. Speaking of, I think all 3 of our runners today are doing at least something at the Dog Pound Expo. So let me unmute them. D-Drag, I am unmuting you. And let them talk about what they're running. Alright, so you guys are now unmuted officially. Sinith,
You are right to warn me. I'm just going to say that up front.
Sinith, I know
Like,
you
it's your fault for not telling me.
Sinith, I know you're running Celeste. And I
we're doing
believe
Celeste.
Thrag and I are actually commentating that.
Yep.
Yes.
We're doing any percent, and the incentives for that. One of them is doing the first chapter completely dashless. I will not have a dash button if that incentive is met. Another incentive is go to the dev room during the run, which is actually not very hard to get to, but still a kind of fun place to get to if you've never seen it before. And then doing Nest Egg, which I mean is just a meme.
Alright, I don't know what any of those things mean, but that's cool, because I'm sure I'll find out before I commentate it, because I don't believe DPX is supposed to be blind commentating, and well, I've already blind commentated Celeste once, at All Kids Deserve to Eat. So Thrig, what will you be running at?
I will be running the Power 100%, which is about a 20-minute run, and I will also be running Vision Soft Reset, which I will be running any percent for. Though there is an incentive, though I don't know I don't remember the value, to have me run True Ending, which is what we'll probably end up doing for the Royale with cheese. Because True Ending is a lot more fun. Just because the ending is a lot cooler.
Alright, and I mean, how much time does that add on to the run?
So with True Ending, to be honest, it's going to depend, because it depends whether we end up doing True Ending 100% or True Ending any percent. But roughly, we're going from about a 25-minute run to around about a 40-minute run with that.
Oh, okay, so that's, I mean, not an insignificant difference in time.
No, they are definitely a bit longer doing the true completion, but it's worth it.
Absolutely. And,
My goodness.
So, and then Jay, I believe you're running something at DPX, are you not? Or maybe racing something?
Yeah, I'm racing
North Korea percent, I believe, with
North
MM2.
Korea percent versus MM2. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be that should be great. North Korea percent, a kind of baby's first RBO category, I guess would be a good way of putting it. You have to do the suitless portion of Meridia, but not suitless Lower Norfair.
Yeah.
Which is a big difference. But yeah, so that's great. That's the Dog Pound Expo. That'll be on Metadog's channel on the 4th through 6th of December, I believe is the.
Yes, 4 through 6. I know my runs are on both on the 4th, back to back. I believe Sinath's is the morning of the 6th. This is morning Eastern Time US, I should add, because yeah. And I believe J Chalk and MM2, who are doing the North Korea percent, are sometime in the afternoon on the Sunday, I think.
Alright, and Ty Potato in chat saying that their runs are also on Sunday.
Yeah, I believe they're doing 2-0 mission hacks.
Oh, awesome. Zero Mission. Actually, I really love Zero Mission, even though
Great game.
I really, really hate Fusion. And they're the same engine, but they're very different games. But yeah, and then of course all donations and proceeds from that go to Right Love on Her Arms, which is a great organization. And that can be looked up at, I believe it's just the acronym, the website.
Yeah, I believe it's just DPX. I don't know.
Well,
I don't remember.
If you'd like to just find out about the organization itself,
Oh, right, yeah.
to Right Love on Her Arms. Yeah, and no, it should be a great weekend. I believe this is the second DPX.
I believe you are correct, yes. The first one being last year, and I believe they raised about $1,500 last year, so we're hoping we'll get to smash it this year.
Yep, hopefully so, and that'll be great. I'm gonna remute you guys, and I'll just commentate the rest of Jay's race, and then we'll get together at the end, and we'll all have a nice little conversation. And now Thry can swear away. So we just have Jay finishing up. Not having a great time with the cycles on these platforms. The platforms are not as simple as they look. If you've ever played Mega Man 1, there's the Iceman platforms. They're not quite that bad, but they're still not good platforms. And of course, this stage just has so much backtracking to grab, to hit buttons, just to open doors, to get to the next section, to hit buttons to open more doors. Stage 17 is pretty large and can get a little tedious. And there are just so many. Anytime you fall, it's almost a guaranteed death because you'll almost always fall into the blue lava. Jay making his way towards one of the red buttons. And I think if Jay decides to ever come back and challenge his own world record on Rusty Gun, he will probably not go for the keyboard anymore. He will go back to his trusty controller. There may be minor time saves with the keyboard, but those aren't always worth it. Jay waiting out these fire cycles, having to wait on platform cycles. Making sure the green minions don't kill him, throwing softballs at him. Push forward. I unfortunately can't really switch the game audio because I don't believe Jay is muted on his stream. Oh, okay. I'm being told by Jay that he is muted on his stream, so I will switch the game audio. Never mind. We're not going to. You're just going to listen to the music. Oh, that's true. Yeah, you know what, we'll switch to Jay, and I'll push Jay into another channel. There we go. Alright, pushing Jay into another channel. I believe Jay is muted on his stream. Oh, okay. I'm being told by Jay that he is muted on his stream. Alright, and now you guys should have much more fresh audio to deal with. Yeah, Jay making his way here through stage 17. Really just having a rough go of the whole thing. I'm thinking his idea to switch to keyboard, just it wasn't worth it. It was not worth the possible time save here. And it looks like Zenith has loaded up stage 17 again. Oh well, the J stream is now. I'm using his audio, so. Yeah. So we have Zenith gonna do some practice here on Antarctica 17, maybe. It's kind of a maze of a level. If you miss, if you misremember one platform, it can really mess with your timing, and you can get lost pretty easily. So yeah, unfortunately, just getting tagged by those bats, and they keep getting them into the blue lava. Yeah, I just swapped it over a couple minutes ago, and now that Jay's not here, I'm gonna unmute Zenith and Thrag, and we're gonna tell you all a secret. So they've been unmuted now. To anybody who's been paying attention, this won't be the biggest secret in the world. So I found this game, Rusty Gun, on Steam, oh god, probably 2 months ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Probably 2 to 3 months ago in the searching for games for people to run. Because Royale requires... the more Royales that get done, the harder it gets to find a game I haven't, that it hasn't been featured, or that I don't know. So I found this. It was like, I don't know, it's like $2 on Steam or so. It's fairly inexpensive. And so we decided to have a blind race of it. And that's what this has actually been. I don't know anything about this game. They don't know anything about this game.
Well, we know it sucks.
And now they know it sucks because they've played it. It's all been just one big, why not? Let's try to pull a fast one over on the viewers. I don't know that any of you bought it, but that's okay. Because I had fun doing it.
It was hard to buy, let's be honest.
It was hard to buy after the sheer number of deaths in stage 1.
Yeah.
I think on all seriousness, no. Like, as much as this game is like not great, it could make a good speedrun if you can actually do it. It's not terrible.
I definitely enjoy playing it. It's the perfect example of a bad game that is fun to play.
Yeah. Well, and luckily, because it's a platformer, most platformers make at least decent speedrunning games.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I have no doubt that with the dash and the different shots and stuff, there's probably some weird tech that could be figured out, should anybody put the effort into it.
We were figuring out tech during the run, too. We were info sharing the entire time, so we started figuring out that if you use a checkpoint and then die immediately after the checkpoint, your life refills to full, and that was, really helping us later in the run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that Jay throwing in the towel? Nope, guess not. But yeah, Jay doesn't know that we've told all of you this secret, but that's okay.
But yeah, so remember that if anybody in chat makes comments, that Jay is still the world record holder as far as we're concerned, or as far as he's concerned for the purposes of this video.
That's right. His world record was a good 40 minutes faster than D-Drag's. To be fair, this game could be easily sub-houred and probably sub-50'd without, with just knowing the game. Not even using any kind of real speed tech or anything. Just
given how long we were on the first 2-3 levels and how many times it died, especially with the first boss as well, getting used to that, I definitely feel like it's kind of one of those ones where.
Good job, everybody.
Yo,
is that dropping the
now.
Yeah, that's it. I gotta go, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, Jay,
All right.
thank you for joining us. We already gave the game away. Chat knows.
Wonderful.
But yeah, well, thank you, Jay. I know you said you had to go, so I won't keep you. But I appreciate all three of you doing this on the Royale. Next time, if we do another blind race like this, we'll just let everybody know it's completely blind instead of
Yeah,
a
that's a
trick
good
like
idea.
a trick like this only works once, and even then, I don't know how well it worked.
Yeah, it's
much.
very debatable.
But I had a great time. I hope you guys did. I'm not gonna buy the game for myself. I know I bought and gave it to two of you, and I am not buying it for myself because it does not look that good. But hey, you know what?
Dude, you should. You
if
really
one of
should.
the developers of Rusty Gun happens to watch this video at some point, we mean no disrespect to your game. We really don't. We were just having a little fun.
Oh, I really enjoyed playing this, to be honest.
Uh,
Like I said, it's there's so many bad things about this game, but they all combine to make a game so much better than any of those bad things should allow it to be. Like I genuinely mean that. It was a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun to commentate, especially being able to listen to the three of you while it was. I'm sorry that I couldn't let you guys in chat listen the whole time because, well, we have the whole not swearing thing, and that was broken within the first 3 minutes or so.
I just want to point out that, and I won't name names, but I was actually not the person who sweared the most. Like off audio, like on SRA. Okay, fair enough. Yes, I'm the one who swore, but off chat, like in the private chat, I was not the one swearing all the time.
No, that was actually me. Every time I quote unquote muted myself to cough, I was just muting myself to swear at them. But yeah, I think I think we've pretty much sold this farce as far as we can. But seriously, guys, I really appreciate the two of you doing this for me. And Jay's already gone, but I appreciate you as well for doing this, Jay. And I appreciate everybody out there in the audience. I don't think we're gonna raid anything or anything. I'm sure there's no one else on Twitch running Rusty Gun right now. Yeah, what do you know? We are the only show in town of Rusty Gun. But
I'd say raid Moctroid if you're gonna raid someone.
all right, yeah. Is Mocktroid streaming right now?
Yeah, he is.
All right, we'll give Mocktroid a raid. Go give him some love, everyone. But from everyone here at Speedrunners Arena, for Jay, who's gone now, and for, well, maybe you guys can say bye to yourselves, but thank you, everybody. And please join us next time on the Royale with Cheese.
Yeah, have a good one, people.